She said that the ratings of her and T.A. Holmes' podcast consumed her after the podcast plummeted in popularity. On Tuesday, Amy, 50, and TJ, 46, dropped a surprise podcast episode. They were fighting and wanted to talk it out on air. So TJ asked Amy if she was available, and he brought the equipment over to her house and they recorded. "I invited you and wanted you to come by because we ain't right," TJ said. "You and I aren't right now." They then went on to talk about comments they have received on social media that say they look so happy. TJ said that at the moment he felt like a fraud because they weren't the seemingly happy couple projected online. It was then Amy's turn to speak up. She said that she has high expectations for their podcast since they have been working on it since the summer. "I've also said that expectations are absolutely a case for suffering," Amy told TJ. "So I have to work hard and remove them from my head." Amy then continued and said she has never been responsible for bookings, ratings, or downloads in her career until they started this podcast. "The pressure of all that, I think, has consumed both of us," the former GMA host said. Amy said that she and TA have always worked together on everything they've done, but lately, they've been sitting in silence with each other. "And I'm not great at that," she said, her voice cracking. "With everything else going on in my life, I felt extremely disconnected from you." Earlier this month, the U.S. Sun exclusively reported that the Amy and TJ podcast has plummeted in ratings. According to the numbers viewed on the major podcasting analytics platform Chartable, the very first episode of the podcast, which premiered on December 5, showed promise when it debuted in the top 5 for all podcasts in the United States. There was a ton of interest in what they were going to say about their affair and being cut from ABC in the aftermath. But I'm not sure anyone expected that interest to continue much beyond that, one source in the podcast industry said. 1 month later, interest had fallen greatly, as Amy and TJ plummeted the U.S. charts, falling to the 243rd spot. However, the podcast rose back up to 136 on the charts the following week when the couple went into a deep dive of their drinking habits, with TJ's admission he would consume around 18 drinks a day before they embarked on Dry January this month. Ratings rankings from Apple and Spotify showed similar figures to Chartable.